Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I don't know how many of you have seen any of my videos before, but today I'm going to be doing alcohol ink coasters in my molds again. I had a ton of questions on my first video that I did this with the alcohol inks. I couldn't get this effect to work. I couldn't get this to work. This keeps happening. So I am going to be doing this video maybe a little bit slower, trying to really explain the way that I'm doing everything so that you guys can follow along at home and get the same results, because after all, that's the entire point. So today we are working with our molds. We will be using the Envirotex Light. That's the resin that we'll be using today. And of course, several colors of the Pinata brand alcohol ink. I'll try and remember to tell you the names of all the colors that I'm using. We have our handy dandy torch for popping bubbles, a stick for stirring. I got my gloves because we are working with resin. This is just my plain old, covered in absolutely everything, kitchen scale that I use for measuring out my resin so I can make sure that I have the right amounts so that it's got the right consistency. We're going to start by mixing our resin, and we're going to start by putting our gloves on. We have our fan on, our door open, and I know I repeat that part every time. I just want you guys to know, get my finger in there. I just want you guys to know that I always take the safety precautions that I suggest that everybody takes. You want to make sure that you're protecting yourself as much as possible. All right, so gloves on. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to go ahead and put the cup on it so that it reads the weight of the cup and it doesn't take that into consideration. All right, I'm using part A, I believe, first of the Envirotex, and I'm going to be doing 6. I believe I'm going to go ahead and do all 6 molds this time. Last time I only did 4, but I want to have 6 coasters this time instead of just 4. So I'm probably going to do about 4 ounces of each. 2, 3, and 4. Well, that went fast. So I'm going to be doing a little over 4 ounces. Well, no, that is nowhere near enough. Okay, just kidding. I'm going to do about 7 or 8 ounces of each. And just a hair more. Come on. A little bit. I just realized I'm getting low on my resin, so I'm going to have to get some more soon. We are also getting ready to move. We are in an apartment, a tiny little apartment, which we love, but we just need more space. It worked for what we needed at the time, but now we just need more space. All right, so I've got 8 ounces, and I'm going to add 8 ounces of the hardener. So I'm going to go to 16 ounces, maybe, because this cup does not look like it maybe wants to hold that much. I'm almost there. It's going to take me a while to stir this. I may not speed it up. I may just completely cut the stirring out of the video, because that is going to take me a really long time to get that mixed in. I really need some bigger cups when I'm going to go and do these coasters. Either way, I'm going to stir this until it runs clear. Whenever you pick the stick up and it drips off, you're going to have air bubbles because you're mixing it. But when you do that, it should look clear, like a glass or like water. So I'm going to, woo, wish me luck. I'm going to do this, and then we will be back to shoot the rest of the video. All right, guys, I stirred. That is finally ready. I'm going to set these up. I don't know if I've got all 6 of them in the shot or not. And now we are going to pour. Woo, that is all right. I'm not going to put too much in them. Just enough to get the effect that I want when I put the alcohol ink in. And if I need to, I can always come back later and add another layer, which actually can give it like a 3D effect. There. Oh gosh, I hope I have enough to do all 6. And I'm basically just eyeballing how much of this I put in here. I want it to be about the same in each one. And it looks to be. What I'm using for my judging is, I can see the bottom corners, the bottom lip of the coasters, and I can see about how much it comes up from that. And that's what I'm using as my, unless if I actually got down to it and was like, stuck a measuring stick or something down in there. And what difference is it really going to make in the end if it's an 1/8 of an inch, or probably even less than that, because these aren't even that deep. They're probably about, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep at most, but I don't think it's a full inch. All right, so there is that. Our resin is in, and now I'm going to take off my gloves because I've got resin on them. And now I'm going to start putting in the alcohol ink. I am going to start with the rich gold, because it tends to sit on the top. It doesn't mix in as well unless if you put it first and you drop all the other colors on top of it, and it actually makes it really pretty when it dips down. But I'm not going to put too much, probably just a couple drops. 5 drops, that's a good amount. 5 drops of the gold, and it spreads out. You see the lovely way that it's, the gold is my favorite. If you guys have watched my videos, you will know I like the gold and black and white, and those are my absolute favorite things. Those are my favorite colors to work with. In real life, I'm a very bright, colorful pinks, purples, stuff like that, but I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe it's because I think it looks classy. I think the black and the white and the gold, I think it just looks classy. It looks elegant. I love it. Okay, so I'm putting on, Senorita Magenta, and I'm going to put some on top of the gold, and then I'm going to put some not on top of the gold. And we want them to be similar, but we don't want them to be exact, because then that's boring. And I don't like it to be boring. I like, the whole point for me is you want color, you want fun. You don't want it to be just same, straight, boring. And I love watching it as it moves around. So I put some pink in, and now I'm going to put white. Now this is the important part that I think people are missing, is you have to have the white, the Blanco Blanco of the alcohol ink, because someone asked if it was just white paint, and it's not. It has to be this, otherwise it does not do the same effect. Maybe I'm gonna do some more colors before I do the white. I'm gonna do some purples. I'm just gonna do lots of colors. I've done some before, trying to get on the gold on some of these. I've done some before where I just did so many colors. The last ones that I did, where everyone's been asking all the questions, I didn't do as much as I would usually do. I did a small amount just to show the effects of the alcohol inks, and it was also sometimes minimalism, like just simple lines, simple colors, not too much. Sometimes that can just be beautiful. Oh, this is called Passion Purple. Move that over here. I have done that. Oh, I also did the gold, so I'm going to move that over here. I have Rainforest Green. I'm going to do some of that. And again, see how the gold likes to sit on the top. Even when you put the colors on it, sometimes it just sits. I'm not going to do as much of this green. I did probably way too much of the purple, and I did some alcohol ink on tile coasters in another video that should be up already by the time this one gets posted. Oh, the blue. I like the blue. And it just, the purple and the green are just super dark. Unless if you're doing them like on a white background, they can come across super dark, and they can totally affect the way that your stuff turns out. So I try not to do as much, and I got distracted talking, and I put a bunch of the, oh, I did like a whole line of the blue. Oh, well. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do white. Last time I did it, I think I put white on for every single one of the colors, and that really caused it all to move around. But I kind of wanted the colors to mix, so I'm going to put a lot of white on here. I really want it to mix, and I'm going to put some on top of the gold so that it will, but see, the white mixes with the colors, and it's what causes the reaction that we're looking for in our coasters, is the white. So you want to put white, and I'll probably put some more because that's, I wish that we could see if the bottoms of these molds were clear, and we could see as this was moving around the effect that it had as it was going down into the resin and mixing together. I think it would be so cool. This is still going to come out cool either way. I love, you can't really mess this up. I mean, unless if you like put like a ton of colors and it just came out like black. But even then, I would just add some more, I would just add some white to it or something. Or that would actually be the perfect kind of thing to add, like if you were doing vinyl, or even if you just use like a marker or something, you could put words or something on it or paint on it and then seal it up again with more resin. When it comes to crafts, I have a Bob Ross philosophy, you know, happy little accidents, and that does not change anything for me. Ooh, that kind of looks like a galaxy. I'm loving it. Da 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 da. I'm loving it. I love that. That's hilarious. I don't know. Cannot believe I just did that. I can actually believe that I just did that. Ooh, look at these colors. Ooh, and the gold is starting to separate a little bit and mix in there. Oh, put some white over here. Sometimes I like to do just the white, you know. White's a color too, guys. White needs love just like the pretty purples and the greens. Although I'm probably using a lot of the white, but I just want to make sure that I put enough in and get enough of a reaction of what I want. I want you guys to be able to see it. So most importantly is the white. This, of all of the things, the white is the most important, because otherwise the colors just kind of sit. They might mix together. They do move around a little bit, but this is the number one, and you don't necessarily have to use the Pinata brand, because I've used the white of, I don't have any with me now, but I've used the whites of other brands. You just have to make sure you have the white to get the effect that you want. So there's that. I was gonna pop some bubbles, but I'm not seeing many bubbles because I used this huge cup and I didn't really vigorous stir. I kind of slow stirred so I didn't spill it everywhere. I didn't really get very many bubbles in it, so I'm not actually seeing really any bubbles. I might still hit it with the torch just because the heat can sometimes also cause the resin. See how it's, you hit it with the heat and it causes even more of a reaction. But you want to be careful if you're using a torch or a heat gun, because you can melt, if you hit it too long, you can melt your mold, and you definitely do not want to do that. Oh no, look what I did. I caused it to start moving in. I did not want that effect today. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can't stop it. Oh, this one's doing it too. So is this one. Oh well, you know what? I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna let it do what it do, because it's not gonna come out bad. It's not gonna, I cannot. My hands are not working today. Move these back over here. It's not gonna come out bad. It's just gonna cause a little bit of a different effect than what I was initially looking for. See how it's moving in towards the middle? It's because I used heat on it. I hit it a little too hard. And so for whatever reason, it causes like this storm cloud of a pulling in type of thing, and it makes a really cool effect. I don't think it's going to stop the other effect that we're looking for. It's just going to cause it to kind of like pull in like a flower, is kind of how I would explain the way that works. Anyways, so we put our resin, we mixed 50-50 to make sure that we get the right consistency and that it hardens up. So this is a video that I just did, so that it hardens up. It's like glass and it's super clear. You want to make sure you get 50-50. Well, my resin is 50-50. Some resin comes and it has a different ratio. So always check your bottles and make sure that you have a 50-50, or you may have a 2-to-1 ratio or something like that. I tend to always go for the 50-50 so then I don't have to remember. And that's why I just assume that it's always 50-50, because that's the only one that I buy so that I can't mess it up. We put our resin in, and then we just use our Pinata brand alcohol inks, and then the white. I'm going to say this 10 million times. The white is the one that causes all the other colors to have the effects like we had in our first video. I hope that by watching this video, you guys can maybe see maybe what we were doing differently, or fix any issues that we were having with you guys trying to do this at home. If not, please let me know. We'll try and brainstorm. I don't know what kind of problems we could be having, but if this doesn't work out the way that it should for you, comments, let me know. We will keep trying to figure out what it is that we're doing differently until we can get it right, because we want everybody to be able to make beautiful things in their house. That's the whole point. We're crafting, we're showing each other how to do stuff. We're a community. So it's super important to me that my videos are helping. See, this one's pulled in a whole lot. My videos are actually helping people be able to do the crafts that I'm showing. So if it doesn't work, please let me know. I'm going to let these sit. These will sit for probably a week, because I like for these to be really set before I try and take them out of the mold. So probably in about a week, I'll come back and we'll do the last of the video, popping them out and showing you guys what kind of craziness is going on under there right now, so that you guys can see and I can see. Oh, I love these colors. I love these colors. I love colorful things. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time whenever we come back to finish this. All right, guys, we are back with our coasters that we did with our mold. They've only been sitting since yesterday. I shot the first part of the video yesterday, but as you can see, they've hardened up. So we're gonna go ahead and pop them out since they're ready. And here we go. Wow. Look at all the colors. And you guys can see how it drips down and causes that effect. So it turns out we didn't put too much white on it after all. You can't see as much of the gold as I was hoping. It mostly stayed on the top. But, well, in that one anyways. Let's see what happens in the rest. Similar color schemes. I'm not seeing much of the gold. You can kind of see it when you move it. There's a little bit of shininess, but the gold didn't really come through the way I was hoping it would. But you know what? That's okay, because I think they're still absolutely gorgeous. One mold down. Here's this one. And I like that we've got a little bit of the pink here. And this is what it'll look like if you don't have the white on it. If you get a little bit of the color without the white, it just looks like the color. And it doesn't move as much, and it doesn't slide down into the resin the way that it would with the white, or the way that it does with the white. A little bit more pink and blue tones in this one rather than just the purpley ones. We've got more of like a purpley kind of here, and this one you can see more of the blue and the pink. Still not in the gold. I'm gonna have to figure out what I did wrong with that. And I think these came out a perfect thickness for the coasters. More blue in this one too, and a little bit of the pink here. You can see on the edges. Love it. Ah, don't fall in there. Ah. Okay, so last one. You guys can see all the coloring and the 3D effect. That's what I like to call it, the 3D effect that came through. Absolutely gorgeous. So I hope that this answered some of the questions you guys had about why you weren't getting the same effect that I was getting in the first video that I did, and kind of showed you guys the difference. Like in this one, I used a lot more of the ink than I did in the first video. It was very minimalistic, and this one has just so much more color. So much more color on it. So that's those done. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me know what you guys think about this color scheme. I love the purple. I think I should have maybe done a bit more blue. I was kind of hoping for like a galaxy or like a mermaid-esque type thing. Maybe next time I'll do more blue and pink and just a little bit of purple, because the purple is such a dark color. It's beautiful, but it kind of takes over when you mix it with the other colors. So yeah, we'll see what we do next time, or may just do completely different colors. I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see me do in a video, and yeah, so hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you next time.